Hey, everybody, it's the coach. You're tuned in to Sunday Night Football on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be an intriguing matchup between the New Orleans Saints and the Oakland Raiders. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. And they come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game. So they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, it's been all systems go in this first month. They're off to a 4-0 start.
And it's got folks believing that this is a team that's built to go all the way. You can't win the Super Bowl in September, but they're telling everyone that they're going to be there in the end.
Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. Leading the charge under center will be their 6'5" quarterback, Carson Wentz.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets, and bottom line, how do they get a win?
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They established the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Come on now, let's go.
Wentz to throw on second down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Sua Cravens with a pick. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that. First drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now here come the Raiders.
Hang in there now.
They begin the drive with a run by Murray. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
And Ndamukong Suh was an all-pro when he was with the Detroit Lions in 2013, 2014. Many people think that maybe he might either be slowing down or not playing at the same level. My eyes tell me he's still playing at an elite level, still destroying the interior of an offense, can get to the quarterback, crush a run game, you name it. Ndamukong Suh can do it. And how about how durable he is? Hasn't missed a game since 2011.
That was second down run for Murray. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now Wentz on third down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He's at it again, Charles. He had the pick six last week. Not a pick six here, but an interception.
Hey, it's another Oski, because that's the word we use when we intercept the pass. Oski tells your team to rally around and block for you. But that worked really well last week because he had made it all the way to the end zone. This week he got the Oski, maybe not a touchdown, but boy, he's playing really well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That goes for a gain of 31.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Good move at the 30. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Carson Wentz, along with his offense, heading back out there for their next possession. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
Now a give. This is Murray. Eluding the tackle. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive.
Here we go. 120.
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. And we checked the rushing numbers so far here into Week 6, and the returns have been really good. Now, you're starting to hit that stride middle of the season toward the end. They're certainly hoping they can keep up this production.
They are, because one of the adages in the NFL...
And the Raiders have got him. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Throwing middle, and it's complete. He's at the 50, the 40, and all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for the Saints. 52 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
And they move this all the way down to the 9. Green's first catch of the game. Good for a first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
It'll be a gain of 5 there as they move closer. It's 2nd and goal. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting.
And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. A great play there. His 10th touchdown of the season, 2nd of the game. And the Saints add on to their lead. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing from his big guys up front because they're winning the leverage game. How many times we talk about low man wins, right? Move the defensive front aside, create those gaps and holes. He's found his way through them for 2 touchdowns.
And after both of those touchdowns, he went right up to that O-line and hit each of them on the helmet. He recognized it.
That's a smart man. You know what else he should do? If this continues, take them all to dinner.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
The numbers in last week's contest for Ingram: 4 catches, 59 yards.
And I get the feeling that he loves this matchup. I mean, the unit he's going against is in the bottom half of the league against the pass. He had to have circled this one on the schedule and said to himself, this should be a big game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh moment. Like, oh boy, here we go again, just like last week. Each game is its own entity, treated as such.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now. as he'll punt it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Over the middle, complete. It's James. The numbers for James from last week: 6 catches, 109 yards.
You think the head coach and the offensive coordinator are able to pull the earplugs out now? Because all week, all they heard was, you know, Coach, they can't guard the pass at all. I mean, they're next to last in the league. Let's throw it on every down.
Yeah, last week we saw the numbers. This week going against second to last in the pass defense area. Good for him. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. And with his speed, if he just finds the slightest crease, he can take it the distance like he did there.
How about the leverage up front? Offensive line out-leveraging the defensive front to create that space, that crease that he was looking for. And once he hits open field, he's going to be very difficult to catch and corral.
Elliott now to kick this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it. I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man, maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. They're on the march, but facing a 3rd down here.
There we go. Back man. Waiting.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And this is going to be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There was nothing available there for him.
Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level, because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Leopard!
Hey, 4 down. He's crashing. He's checking.
Fournette, a first down carry. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. A 3-yard pickup on 2nd and 4. Now they'll need to convert here on 3rd and a little more than a yard. That's some good tackling there to keep him short of that yellow line.
Yeah, defensively, all I'm thinking is that on that play, get me to 3rd down. Get me into a position where I can make one more play and get my defense off the field.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And the broken tackle helps lead to a first down gain. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
That's about what you would expect since they're so efficient on picking up 3rd downs in the top 5 in the NFL. It's all a mindset, and I guarantee you, it started in the offseason. 3rd down's important to them. They find a way to pick them up at a very good clip.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Back to throw. The quick slant caught. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. In for the score. And the Saints just continue to roll. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
So that'll set the offense back 5, make it 1st and 15. The false start backs them up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Murray. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they've bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now. Throwing is Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Here we go. 180!
From the gun, it's Wentz. And that is incomplete. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
Pretty move. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. A good job in the passing game. Decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll drop to throw. And this is caught at the 8. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Back to throw again. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Throw left side complete. It's James. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A 10-yard completion, but still now facing 3rd and goal. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure.
And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. David Irving in there to drop it for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long.
3rd and goal, they decided to throw for it. But how about the play defensively? Couldn't find anyone open. Left him nowhere to go with the football. Had to absorb the sack.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
And our attention here turns to Latavius Murray. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the second quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Well, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. Wentz now on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders able to get this back to within at least some measure here of respectability.
Yeah, you heard it, right?
Exhale.
You heard the exhale, and I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, they can just tighten.
That's what they want to do, tighten down everything they're doing, and then maybe explode at the right time.
"35 seconds, all that remains in the first half as they come up on 1st down. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. That late in the clock, second quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Great footwork, but still wrangled down before reaching the 20. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. They'll run it now out of the gun. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And Ingram holds it in. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Well, they've been practicing goal line offense all week. Let's see if they're able to capitalize here.
Here we go. 180.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. As the first half is winding down, and the Raiders get a score closer.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. This fielded at the 2. Spins away. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's got a man. Complete. Past the 20. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish.
Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter?
Elliott on for the extra point. Elliott good with a PAT. So we have reached halftime with the visiting Saints out on top. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome in, everyone, to our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Now McManus on to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. Spinning away. And they finally get to him, but not before he's past the 45 to the 46-yard line.
Any return that gets you to midfield is a great return. One first down, and you're almost in field goal position.
Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A really good pickup of 28 yards. And that last reception puts him over 150 yards now on the game, Charles.
And now it's not just execution. It's not just performance. It's a mental aspect that's going on. Because right now, he's got the defense so much on their heel.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now from the 7, here's 2nd and goal. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Flushed out right, and he fires one incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And it's 3rd down. Back-to-back great plays defensively. Get the sack on 1st and goal. A great job in coverage there. All of a sudden, they're looking at 3rd and goal from further back than when they started.
And the really good play callers look ahead and down and distance sequence. Now he's got to backtrack a little bit and go maybe off his play sheet to try and dial something up here.
Lucky 56.
Now back to throw. Looking for Green, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And a big turnover there as as his guys will get the football back. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for Dallas.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, he got what he could there, just trying to move forward and gain a little bit of yardage and create some space. You know the pressure is going to be tough defensively.
They go with Murray again. And an alley to run. And they work this out past the 25. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Okay, every now and then, my defensive bias will leak out here. Abysmal play for them. You've got them backed up, and you let them out.
Couldn't take advantage. And you know who's happy? The punter. Because if he was needed, they gave him a lot of space to work with now.
Yeah, because he would have had a lot to think about, right? Don't step over the back line and give him a safety. Now he's got room if he needed it.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 11. And I think he's a guy, if they had let him walk, no one was going to be shouting from the top of a mountain, but he's a good guy. He's a good locker room guy, too.
Good locker room and a good player. I mean, he's a valuable starter for them, and if you just want to start over and maybe bring in someone new, the learning curve might be a little bit big. So good job by getting him taken care of. And now they can move forward.
And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on first down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
Now Wentz. He'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. Touchdown, Oakland. Evan Ingram with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. So he's hit pay dirt twice, but still they're facing that deficit here in the second half.
So they're going to see if they can continue to find ways to get him the football, because obviously something is working for him to find the end zone twice. In any event, however this turns out, he's going to be hard to deal with in the film room, isn't he? He's going to want to know why he's not getting more passes thrown to him.
Those big tight ends are getting greedy. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once it took...
And got his man complete. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. They'll look to throw now on first down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Give him 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make...
And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Well, no takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And a shot taken on 3rd down, unsuccessful. 4th down now.
Well, he bounced up after taking a sack and took a shot downfield. I think a lot of us thought maybe he'd run draw in that situation. Instead, tried to get all back in one play.
Yeah, 3rd and long. Thought he needed the deep pass. Couldn't connect it.
Maybe he was hoping for a penalty downfield to give him the yardage they needed.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. This to equal Matt Prater's record. It's a 64-yard attempt. That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar. And this score will stay right where it is. So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. They'll try and get the running game going here with Murray. And he's going to get this one down near the 45-yard line. There to make the tackle, Samson Abukum.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Again, it's Murray. And an alley to run. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Here we go. Waiting.
On first down, Murray. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They run again with Murray. He's seen a ton of action tonight. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
Good luck trying to get your running game going against Ndamukong Suh. I mean, he is so strong. Just trying to move him, take one guy, two guys, whatever. I wish you a whole lot of luck. He usually converts an offensive running game into rubble.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now Wentz. He's going to look deep for one. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Anthony Brown. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Going deep here for Bryant. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Help me out, partner. Was that incomplete?
That was on a deep ball to Dez.
And that's a surprise. The way he attacks the football in the air, it's always surprising to me when he doesn't complete a pass like that.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Out left side here to Bryant. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Michael Brockers in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. They'll set up to throw. And the Raiders have got him. Carl Lawson in there to get him. And that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Well, that'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your number 1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Big reason why they're down. On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Over the middle, he's got Watkins. A good cover defensively as they get to him just beyond the 45 after the juke. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
On 1st down, Wentz. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Wentz going to throw. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Gibson. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They've got another 1st down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Wentz now on 1st down. Going with a screen for Murray. No gain on the screen there. It's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now Wentz again. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get this down to the 10. They've got another first down. The Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one. And there's a man they call AB, always a volume receiver. He gobbles up catches. Holds the number 2 and number 4 spots for most receptions in a season in NFL history. And in 2015, just 7 catches.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Latavius Murray, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer. So up comes Wentz as he and the guys on offense here will go for 2.
I know the play ends up in the end zone with one person carrying the ball, but how about that big mass of humanity that guided him to that spot?
Yeah, they got there, but I love the dive. Always a fan of the dive. And his throw here is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that extra, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. Flashed the stick skills, but didn't get a ton from it. Stopped short of the 35. The Saints on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. Here it's 3rd and 2. And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to pick up the first down here before he goes down at the 26. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them. One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Back to throw here. He almost had it. The big D lineman nearly had an interception. Instead, it falls down incomplete.
He's got to be kicking himself right there. His team's already picked off 2 passes. That would have been the 3rd in the game. And, boy, they've really played well attacking the football.
Back to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
To throw is Wentz. And that's going to be incomplete.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe he didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch as the arm there, the leg's still there. This has been a tough game. To throw, it's Wentz. Man open left side is Brown. And able to get this one out just shy of the 25 at the 24. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred.
Latavius Murray, he's at the 40, 20, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Latavius Murray, 76 yards, and the Raiders make some inroads here on that deficit. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
And the Saints hands team able to rein this one in. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. He got 29 yards that time.
What a catch, and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Now, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them,
They
don't
get that
they?
little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves to see if they're having too much of an effect on the game.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll set up a throw, eluding the pressure right. And he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. As his guys are in for 6, and the Saints add on to their lead. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone can stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that's leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now, because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
Elliott now to kick this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. And that one will pretty much erase any hopes of a fourth quarter comeback.
With emphasis, interception, return for touchdown. Door closed, locked, reinforced.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Fielded about a yard deep. Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. They go play action here on first down and nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10 and give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Elliott now to kick this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
A good starting spot for the Raiders as they come up 1st and 10. Wentz now to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Gibson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
When the offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
They run with Murray and able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
There we go. Back. 120.
Wentz to throw on 2nd down. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Well, that'll get them to first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. Throwing on first is Wentz. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, this is how you shape the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
That is caught inside the 5. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Antonio Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Raiders get a score closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. The Saints coming out now to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire.
And for the fourth time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Kevin Minter. And the return will stop right around the 25. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys.
Well, this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Evan Ingram, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. Well, yes, that's his third touchdown catch, which is very impressive, but on the scoreboard, they're still struggling.
So it's safe to say that without him, my goodness, yikes, they are in major league trouble. He's doing his best to try and keep them in the game. I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of two-point tries and see what the data tells us, because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation, this time unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Gun! 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 All right, now, look at 56. Look it!
That one looks like he'll throw here. Steps away, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.